Higher self. Welcome everybody to this transmission as we connect together as a community, a Christic community. My brothers and sisters. Welcome to this transmission of spirit. Welcome to our community, Christic community gathering, coming together in our awakening, in our ascension. Much respect to all of your spiritual journey as you go through your own activation and connection to that higher self of your family of consciousness, a collective. That is our true higher identity. We're not just people or a person or an individual. Eventually you come to the part of yourself where you are this, you would say, collective, like a we instead of a me. So for a lot of people in the 3D, that's very confusing or maybe hard to grasp because, you know, most of the spiritual teachings or religions don't talk about this collective consciousness or even acknowledge certain abilities or psychic abilities. For example, they think that it's all demonic or bad or something's wrong with that or something. But when you really think about it, it's the opposite of that. It's actually it's a level of, it's the definition of evolution. Psychic abilities, what are they? You can perceive in many different ways than the five senses. That's an evolution. That's not a bad thing. You don't demonize spiritual evolution. Okay? That is my AC. Let me turn that off real quick. Actually, it'd be good to have it on, but it makes too much noise for my microphone, so it's 83 in the house right now. Anyways, getting through summer, right? But yeah, this is a evolutionary, kind of like a confirmation. Like those who are, I mean, think about someone who can do past life memory and someone who cannot. Someone who can feel Kundalini energy in their body, in their hands, and someone who does not. Someone who can project their consciousness in the astral and somebody who does not. Somebody who can read telepathy to another person's mind and someone who does not. People with psychic abilities are the ones who are actually evolving. That is evolution. Being closed-minded and being stuck in 3D concepts where there isn't something beyond this body, or the identity is only about this body. So that is the big difference in those who are seeking the higher consciousness and those who are not. And that's okay. Every one of you has your own divine gift of free will to explore this paranormal, the supernatural in your own personal life and find significance in that, find some importance in that, some value, and understanding that there's more than this. Okay, there's more than just your own thoughts, more than your own skills, more than what you've done in this life. Because when we talk about higher consciousness, that is you, brother or sister. That is you in a higher timeline, a higher dimension. So you really can't understand the concept of the higher self if you don't know the context of creation, because there's many different levels. You know, higher levels where these higher selves exist. We are in the 3D, third dimensional level of reality. This is currently where we're embodied. This is our, you would say, spiritual lessons in the third dimension, until we move into the fourth dimension and those spiritual lessons, and then evolve, ascend into the higher dimensions. Those are your higher selves, because compared to 3D, the 4D is higher, the 5D is higher, the 6D is higher than that. But it's not like it's explained in Hinduism or something like Buddhism, where you have this life and then you grow old and then you die and then you become a new life, a new person, a new body. It doesn't work that way, you guys. You're existing in all these different timelines, and they're in different dimensions, and they're in different universes, different density matter, and it's all happening simultaneously. You're not going to run into your other selves, because it's not really possible. You're actually in a different time vector than your previous or your future self. So it's all kind of like separated through the timelines. I mean, all these other identities, all these incarnations, and you're one of them. You're connected to what's called a 12 tribe. You're connected to a greater family called, it's of 144 collectives or identities. I mean identities. So you have singular identity, then you have your 12 tribe identity, then you have your greater soul identity, which is 144 selves. So in your journey, as you go through one life to the next life, you are expanding your soul consciousness and energy frequency. So every one of you is important, and every one of your other selves have its own free will choices. So while you're making your choices, one of your other selves is having its choices, and you could probably not even, maybe you wouldn't even consider another version of you as a friend. You don't like how that person is, that other self of you is, which is possible. There's parts of you that you may not like. There might be some of the negative energies that you're dealing with. It's possible they're coming from kind of like in the form of karma from one of your other selves playing out. So we all have this, personal karma. We have a race karma, human race karma. Then we have a planetary karma. These are all levels. These are all parts. These are all identities of yourself. So the thing of it is that most people in the 3D consciousness, they don't have this psychic perceptions, ESP, extrasensory perceptions yet. So they're not perceiving their other selves. They're not perceiving past lives or future lives, or so it's not as real to them. And there's been significant, you would say, problems on our planet that have happened, events that have happened that have wiped the memory of humans. And so that doesn't help in understanding your higher self. So it's harder to relate to. It's harder to feel that it's real. But this is a spiritual process, you guys. You're going to go through stages of not remembering, not knowing, not feeling, not believing. You go on a spiritual journey, you're fixing things, you're healing things, you're awakening and activating things. Then you will start to step into that spiritual evolution process, which is a natural process. We're meant to grow. We're meant to become greater, to become our greatest potential, our greatest version of ourselves. There's no reason to be the same, to be average, to be just coasting by. It seems like most of that soul growth happens when there's problems or conflicts, right? So sometimes your own soul will put you into a situation where it kind of forces you to be moving into the right direction. And so it's not a form of control that you are the soul and the soul is you, but the soul is at a higher embodiment, while you're in the 3D embodiment. The soul is in the 5D embodiment, and so it has already been through these experiences. You are its past. And so it gets kind of different when we talk about starseeds and indigos, because those are beings already from the future who are incarnating into this past. So but in most part, there's mostly angelic humans who have amnesia, don't remember their multidimensional higher consciousness, what the Guardians call the personal Christos in the Voyager's books, in these Emerald Order innerchristos teachings. It talks about the personal Christos as being 1,728 other selves. Most of those are higher selves compared to your three-dimensional self. And you're going to have parallel selves, and you're going to have adjacent selves. You have selves on Earth, you have selves that are in Tara, selves that are in Gaia, and some of your highest selves in Aramatena. And so those are all part of your collective. This is all part of your identities. Okay? All these versions of you are you. Even if you saw your other self or doppelganger in the parallel, or it would seem surreal, or something that's what is happening is like for some people who are stuck in the 3D would be shocked or afraid. But someone like, who's an awakening person on a spiritual journey, they've already had experiences that are paranormal, supernatural. And so now they're almost focusing more on the spiritual life to have more of those experiences. Kind of like someone who's had very powerful dreams, or lucid dreaming, or astral projection in their dreaming, or contact in their dreaming. You look forward to dreaming. You try to think of ways that you can improve your dreaming. You look up information on how to do it. It's the same thing with tonight's topic, is the higher self. We're looking for ways to improve our connection and awareness of that higher version of ourself. It's kind of like a teacher for us. It's kind of like a wisdom, a source, a channel of wisdom. Kind of like there's your younger self as a little kid, and then your higher self as an adult who has more experience, has more lessons that has been passed compared to your younger self. It's the same thing with your higher soul. Your soul has had all these experiences from your 12 selves, from your 144 selves, and it has probably a lot more psychic abilities turned on, can perceive many more other selves in its family, in your family of consciousness, than you can. Maybe it can connect to hundreds of its other selves, while you here in the 3D can't even connect to one other self. But the truth of the matter is, our thoughts can be coming from some of our other selves inside our mind, in our own voice. Even though your other higher selves don't look like you anymore, they don't have the same DNA template as the 3D self. They have a 4D self template that looks like an alien to us. You might even be afraid of seeing your higher self if you're not comfortable with aliens and extraterrestrials. So most of the time, these higher selves, your higher selves, until you're prepared, they will come to you. They will visit you as a spirit guide. It's not some freaking New Age spirit guide. Okay? It's you. You don't have no owl visiting you. You don't have what's this one? This insect with these wings, like a not a praying mantis, but it's got the kind of like a helicopter wings. You know, it stay in place. You know, whatever a dolphin self or an eagle self. That's probably your other selves, your higher self, appearing to you, its lower self, as a spirit guide. Because it's your older brother, sister, your uncle, your aunt. It's your higher version that has more experience that is helping you, who has this desire to help you, who loves you. It's you. You love yourself and your family, your homies. What's up, higher self? What's up? Can you help me in this? You know, talk to your higher self. Talk out loud. Talk in prayer and meditation to yourself. You can even address your oversoul self, which is your archangel, or your, plural, self, archangels selves, or your avatar selves, or your rishi selves. In this teachings, we know what is soul, oversoul, avatar, rishi, ascended master, Janus self. So basically that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight, about the higher self, about your higher self, our higher selves, what we can do and how we connect to them, and why we would do that. So thank you guys so much for being here with me. This is a live broadcast, so let me say hello to all my family coming on in. We got Lauren Wisdom already here, my Chiwa star sister. Woohoo! Good to see you. Looks like you're the only moderator in here so far. Much love, much respect. Who do we got? We got Snappy Streams in the house. Hello, Snappy. Thank you for sending love, Lauren Wisdom. This is the kind of frequency we want to hold tonight. Charlene Howley in the house. Thank you, sister, for being here. Thank you for being part of this live, for holding space with us. Abrielon Tale. Sorry if I can't say your name perfectly. Welcome, 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 holy ones. Greetings from Peanut Island, she says, JFK, Florida. Much respect, Florida. What's up, holy one? Elephant Tusk. Woohoo! He says, Christos Avatar, I feel like you were just describing me, since I possess all of those psychic abilities. All right. That's good. That's good confirmation, Elephant Tusk. And it's good to see you on a regular basis. That's what we like to see here, coming in, growing in our family together. And I probably am describing you and others who are, on this journey of awakening their higher self. Machiwa Divine Reflection, good to see you, brother. Sandra Payment in the house. Hello, am on. Machiwa. Good to see you, Sandra. Oh, thank you for sharing angelic realities, Lauren Wisdom. Oh yeah, we do. Most people don't understand what dreams are. Like she says, I work when I'm sleeping. Yes, because think about this. You don't turn off consciousness. You don't push the pause button on consciousness. Your body needs to sleep, needs to rest. Your consciousness ain't gonna, sit around and wait for the body to be finished sleeping, right? Your consciousness is active in the higher frequencies. So, and you even hear our teacher Ashana Dean talk about how everybody in their sleep goes up to the metagalactic core, their consciousness does, replenish the energy, and come back into the body. So you're not just, maybe your body is sleeping, but your consciousness is not limited to the body. Your consciousness can do things beyond the body. Okay, that's the amazing thing. That's how consciousness works. While we may be ensconced in a body for 80 years, it surely isn't the only location. As a matter of fact, people learn how to bilocate, or to experience other worlds, other realities, other universes, other bodies, because their consciousness can move, can travel. Okay? And this is exactly why consciousness can be transferred to another body, like a clone body, some of those nefarious things in the SSP. But people think that's not possible. Well, it's possible to even lose the body, or to have something else come inside the body with you, especially those people who are inviting or invocating spirits to come into their light body. So it is possible to have more than one body have more than one consciousness or spirit in a body. So that's exactly what an indigo type 3 is. It's two consciousness in one body. And so, but that's a healing agreement. That's an arrangement. For the most part, it's just one soul essence per body. And so we be mindful of the risks and the dangers out there, or certain practices that people do that make themselves vulnerable to someone else possessing your body. We don't want to have any of those type of invulnerabilities. We actually want to strengthen our frequency, our energy, our consciousness, so that it can't happen, or make it less likely to happen. So we become very mindful of, for example, I need to start the cleansing, or purifying and protecting the space that we're in. We do that anyways with our consciousness, creating the Maharic seal. But we do other things too, kind of like stack different things for protection and for clearing your space. And so I do this on a regular basis. Every single day I am cleansing myself and doing my Maharic seal, connecting, praying to my higher selves, such as the Elohai. That's all of our higher self in the 13th dimension. You have your Christos avatar self that I regularly connect to, pray to. It's basically communicating to your higher self. Plural, higher selves. You get used to understanding that you're not just a singular individual. Neither are these beings being called gods. They're not singular individuals. They are beings that are collectives. This is the natural state of higher consciousness. Usually when I go into that meditation every night, I'm perceiving massive amounts of my family of consciousness, and understanding that all those things that I'm experiencing and seeing are me on different timelines, on different in different dimensions, in different universes, in different agendas, and so you start to see things like kind of like several different levels at once, seeing times, scales of different times, different worlds, and you may even like see this like something that becomes more familiar to you because you see it more than once, over and over again. Like earlier, I was talking about spirit guides. And I do this because it's not what people think. They're not spirit guides. Give me a break. That's a new age idea. Okay? Spirit guides. Some spirit guiding you. First of all, people don't know what is spirit. They don't know what is this connection to a family of consciousness. So let me elaborate. Most of what people call spirits aren't what they think at all. What you think of as a spirit is a being, a living physical being in another dimension, in another frequency bandwidth of reality. And you perceive them as ghost-like because they're at a higher frequency vibration. Their body matter is ghost-like. So they call that a spirit. It's not a spirit. It's an extraterrestrial in a higher dimension. It's the same with all of your higher selves. They're not dead. They're not spirits. They're living beings just like you are in a different dimension. So people get off on calling things spirits when they have no clue what they're saying. Most of the things that you are interacting with in your meditation, in your dreams, okay, in altered states, on medicine, it is not spirits. I try to stress this again and again and again. All those things are physical beings in other dimensions of reality. You perceive them as spirits. It is religions telling you it's spirit, or some new age teaching or system that says it's spirits. Gods. That's a god. It's a god. That's a spirit. That's a spirit guide. That's a ghost. Everything, all of that are physical beings in their dimensions of reality you perceive as a spirit. So you can agree or we can disagree and still talk about higher selves. So a succubus is not a spirit. It's an actual physical being in the phantom matrix in a different dimension. And when you're in an altered state, like sleeping, well, now they can feed off your kundalini. It's not a spirit. It's one of these malevolent, fallen, angelic beings. It's the same kindergarten, little child ideas of what are fallen angels and demons. People just use these words like demon. That's a demon. Oh, that's a fallen angel. That's a spirit. That's an angel. That's an archangel. Hello. All those are physical beings in their dimensions. An angel is physical. It's not a spirit. An archangel is physical. It's not a spirit. Everything you're calling gods are not spirits. They're beings, physical beings on planets in another dimension, in another density matter, okay? In a different frequency that you are currently existing in. And it is the same thing with perceiving anything. I think it even says in Voyagers 1, it also says in Cathara, Biospiritual Healing Workshop, that everything you see, or you can only see like one dimension higher than you are, or one dimension lower. You don't see in those other bandwidths where these beings are existing. So everything you're perceiving that is not in our dimension, you're thinking it is some spirit. It's another being in a higher dimension. You're physical, and some lower dimensional being may not even be able to perceive you and think it's a myth. You're a myth, or you're an avatar, or it's some godlike being. It is the misunderstanding of consciousness. Let me show you in Cathara. Let's see if we can follow this stream of thought that we're talking about right here. It helps you understand the higher self is not a freaking spirit. It's not a spirit guide. It's not something that's dead. So let me open up. I guess most people are thinking they're beings without bodies, but okay, you see them. Just like you see a person with a body, you see what they look like with their body. You see them in a body, but you're saying they don't have a body. You know, it's just... Okay, so let me... Can you see what that being looks like? They have a face, they have eyes, they have hair. It's not a spirit. It's a physical being. So let me see. It's all the freaking distortions of religions. It's really making angelic humans disempowered. Now you think they're spirits, and now they're not alive. They're not important, or it's dead, or or you're gonna visit it later when you die. Okay, let me see. Let me see. File, open. Yeah, it's in the wrong location. That doesn't help. Files, MCEO. What the hell is this? Sorry, guys. It's like I must view all my recent files. We'll look at that. Cathara. Oh wow, I found it. So let's now I got too many windows open though. So let me close some of them like that and that. Okay. We got this going on now. So this is Cathara Biospiritual Healing. And this data that we're hunting down together has something to do with, well, let's just browse through it. It has something to do with when it talks about dimensions. Because you cannot perceive certain things beyond your dimension. It doesn't make them spirits, man. Shit. That's what we're calling spirits. Things we don't see within our dimension. But they're physical in another dimension. Attitudes, no. We're trying to find Kelantic science about, yeah, about the structure of reality. So see, there's an intrinsic level of creation of the universal order. The beings in higher dimensions, like your higher selves, are in a higher part of creation. But I'm still trying to find what it is that holographic template. Okay, this is where I was trying to get to. Okay. Human perception. Human perception of solidity, what's physical. Okay? Human perception of what's physical or externalization is determined by the oscillation rates between dimensionalized units of consciousness. That means between what dimension you're on and what the other entity is in their dimension. Dimensionalized units, because we're all dimensionalized, form frequencies of energy which exist in specific relationships to each other. So you have a specific relationship to your higher self. It doesn't make it a spirit. It's you in another dimension. The human consciousness, the soul, or you could call it spirit, a human physical form and human physical form are patterns of frequency. That's what I'm saying. Your body is a different frequency than your fourth dimensional consciousness. And we perceive the body as physical because we're inside the body, formed by the dimensionalized Dimensionalization of units of consciousness. So everything around you, you guys, is at some level of dimensionalization. Here's the important thing right here. We perceive manifest. In other words, we perceive something that's physical, physically solid, due to the relationship between the frequencies of the consciousness of which we are made of and those of anything we see in the unified field conscious energy around us. So humans perceives as solid the frequency bands that exist one full dimension, that's what I was saying, spectrum below the frequencies within which the individuated or collective consciousness is stationed. The only difference between a thought and something that's physical is the frequency of the consciousness of the observer, where you are the observer, right? Looking at something else, and it depends on its frequency. We're all at different frequencies. You're not going to perceive something that's not within the frequency band that you exist within, or within one level of frequency. So you're not going to see physical manifest, anything beyond one dimension. Like we don't see anything physical in the 4D, fourth dimension, because we're in the 3D. To see something physical in the fourth dimension, your consciousness has to be in the fifth dimension. If you want to see something physical in the fifth dimension, you have to have your consciousness in the sixth dimension. So, when people come from higher dimensions to our dimension, like starseeds and indigos, they already have those higher chakras activated, so they can perceive aliens and angels and other worlds and higher selves, because they have the heart chakra, the throat chakra, and the third eye chakra, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimensional identities activated. Most humans, and that is over 8 billion, most humans, 8 billion plus humans, do not see other dimensional entities and beings. So though to them it's just theory and just ideas of spirits. Just ideas, no actual confirmation or experiences that they remember. Where they do remember. Right now they don't remember, and they don't have anything activated. They're stuck in 3D. They're programmed into staying at a 3D frequency. 3D people in the 3D frequency could give a crap about a higher self, which is a collective, a family. That's why it's more accurate to say higher selves. Remember that number, 1,728 selves? Most of them are higher selves. It's a plural thing. Because you don't just have one identity above you. You have many identities. When you're in the first universe, and most of your dimensions are, so that means most of your identities are in the second and third and fourth and fifth universe. You're on the lowest, so you see the least. The higher you go, the more and more you perceive. And all the people stuck in 3D think you're crazy, think you're imagining something. Because they don't have the same activations as you. They're not a starseed. They're not an indigo. They're not even on a spiritual journey. More than likely, because of the numbers on Earth, most humans are stuck in the 3D idea that religion gives them and pushes them into. That's on religion. Religion doesn't teach you spiritual science. They teach you spirit stuff. They talk about God and about, energy, but they can't explain nothing from a science point of view. Which is my recent videos that I uploaded are talking about this, where spiritual science was one concept. It got separated into spirituality and science. Spirituality without science is distortion. Science without spirituality is distortion. It's a bifurcation, a polarization. You don't want to be in a polarization. You want to be in a completeness, a wholeness, a unity. So this is by design. Spiritual science has been split apart on purpose, because this has been a huge, vast, enormous timelines that this has progressively over time happened. So most humans don't even notice or understand that this has happened a long, long time ago, man. When we had the Luciferian covenant happen, which they did certain things to the planetary grids. They did certain things with Battlestar Nibiru. They put alien technology in Earth's grids. They caused something called the Babylon Massacre for us to all speak different languages. So we don't remember. Most humans don't remember. It is us starseeds and indigos who remember and wanting to share with the angelic humans. We plant seeds. We're not saviors. We're not doing the work for you. Everybody is responsible for connecting to their higher consciousness. No one's going to give you your higher consciousness. No one's going to do the hard work for you, because you're probably a mess. So you can't steal it. You can't borrow it. You got to develop that connection, your own connection. And understand this, you guys. We're all have this potential. It's within all humans to experience the memory of your family, the memory of your higher consciousness, the memory of your connection to the angelic human race, to the planet Tara, to the Guardian Alliance, to the Orifim Indigos, to the Azarites and the Maharaji Blue Humans, and to the Lyran, Syrian, Anuhazi Cat people, to Holy Elohai. But most people have no freaking clue, man. It is sad. Even in spiritual communities, they have no clue. They're entangled in all of the distortions that have put into religions and been put into New Age beliefs, and now it's all been infected, distorted, mutated. It is only those who are still connected, still aligned with the Christic guardians and memory, who are sharing with those and planting seeds for those who are open-minded to awakening their own higher potential. We facilitate. We don't give. Okay, you're not giving someone their spiritual evolution, because as soon as you see that, you guys, when you see that in some freaking New Age systems, oh, they're going to heal you. No, we facilitate you to heal yourself. No one's saving you. There's no messiahs. Okay? There's no death or sacrifice that's going to give you the keys to the kingdom. That is all part of those horrible, dark, distorted religious beliefs and blood ritual covenants. Most of those are based on covenants of blood, and I will be talking about that eventually on my new channel. I hope most of you are aware that I have a second channel now. I hope you guys are going to go to it, because it's being linked on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Twitter even, and then on my TikTok. I am pointing to people to my second channel. And so that is an important topic to be eventually talking about, as well as all of the Illuminati alien hybrid races on planet Earth that have, they're the ones that actually corrupted all these teachings, omitted things, put in things. You know, they're all based on hybrid ETs who become the elites, the kings, the queens, the emperors who control the churches and the belief systems on Earth. Now you're being fed false creeds. Now you're being fed putting down women, disempowering the divine feminine. Now you're being fed subservience and worshiping. We do not freaking bow and worship other entities or beings. You're given false gods. You want to call them pagan gods, but it's not just pagan gods. It's also all those monotheistic gods. They are not gods. There's only one source, one creator, and countless imposters, countless pagan gods, monotheistic gods that are all false ETs. They're extraterrestrials claiming to be a god so they can control you. And now you're worshiping them and being subservient to them and giving their free will, your free will to them. They're controlling you. They're now also, the whole purpose of that is to disempower you from being an angelic human who is going to naturally be representing the Christic perspective, not this subservient, groveling, worshiping perspective that the human race, 8 billion plus humans, have been put into. Most of the people that you know are in this spiritual bondage. And when you are, you're not going to have no psychic brilliance. You're not going to be connecting to your higher selves, which is within your inner Christos. It is within your 1,728 identities. Religion ain't teaching you that. New Age is not going to teach you that. They don't even know what is the inner Christos. It's not just the name of these teachings. The inner Christos is your inner connection to Source, to God. Inner connection, while other teachings say you're separate. No, that's a lie. You're not separate from God. No matter how dark and twisted you become, or fallen you become, or arrogant or prideful or hateful you become, you will never be separate from God. Because you are God. You are a fragment. We are in the time matrix hologram fragments of God. And in this hologram of matter, in this time matrix, God gave itself free will. So God put itself in this time matrix so it can experience whatever the F God wants to experience. Outside of that, God is always positive and blessed and full of omni-love. It is inside the hologram time matrix where beings can forget itself. God made it possible. Source God, the creator, doesn't have a name. It's not Allah, it's not Yahweh, it's not Odin, it's not Osiris. It doesn't have a name. As soon as you list a named God, it's the wrong source. It's not God. It's not. As soon as you mention a Lord, It's definitely not source God. God is not physical. God doesn't have a name. So when you start giving it names, when you start humanizing God, you have no freaking clue what you're talking about. You are lost into the false creeds that have been fed to the earth population since ancient Atlantis. They've literally been doing this way before our Atlantis, way before in human seeding 1, which is 25 million years ago. Way before that, into planet Tara, 250 million years ago. No, excuse me, 650 million years ago. Wait, 550 million years ago. We were created 560 million years ago. We got along for 10 million years. So 550 million years ago is when we fell or started to become distorted. So those distortions, those manipulations started 550 million years ago on planet Tara, where humans were originally seeded. And then part of our race fell because of cataclysm. You know, when you're hit with the supermassive, it's called the dietic crystal Nibirian, because it's the Nibirians from Nibiru doing it. It's the Nibirian diotic crystal grid. NDC. You'll see that in Voyager's NDC, Nibirian diotic crystal grid. Crystal grid, NDC grid. The NDC grid, the Nibirian diotic crystal grid, is these huge building-sized crystals. There's 24 of them. 12 in the inner Earth, 12 in the parallel Earth. And the fallen angelics and their puppet Illuminati races, hybrid ET races, got control over it. And of course they weaponized it on Tara and caused the cataclysm in Atlantis and Lemuria. And they did the same thing here on the Earth system. They used the same crystal grid system. They got control of it and also destroyed Lemuria. They destroyed their own continent. Atlantis became islands. They didn't learn. They repeat the same mistakes in different timelines. And so this is part of our drama we deal with, you guys. And so let me double check real quick. Chihuahua. Stephanie Josie, thank you, Holy One, for your donation. This is the only way I can do this full time for you guys. And she wrote a message. Anohazi, thank you so much for all you do. You are much appreciated. Thank you, sister. Thank you so much for that exchange of energy. Chihuahua. And also Janelle, good one. Woohoo! Another star sister. It's mostly the divine feminine in the house, man. It's mostly the women. Okay. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you so much, star sister. She didn't leave a message, but that's okay. Thank you for that exchange. And this is why I'm working for you guys 100+ hours a week. Some people may not believe that because it's hard for them even to work 40 hours a week. Well, I work 2 full-time and a half jobs for you guys. So thank you so much, Janelle. While you're eating and having an entertainment and you're going shopping, your brother's working. I'm working for you guys. Thank you so much, Janelle. Gina! Woohoo! Thank you, Gina, sister. What's up? What's up, Vato? Give me 5, Gina. Yeah. You better be in Vegas, man. Gonna be having some more of those tequila sunrise and white Russians. I'm just telling you what I like to drink. You can drink whatever you want. What's up, Gina? Thank you, guys. Thank you for that donation. For those of you who may not know, the donation link is at the top of chat. It's also in the description of my video. You guys can also become Patreon members. since I've been demonetized on YouTube until my other channel can make it. Right now, I have no demonetization. It took me almost a year, maybe. It won't take me that long this time, but yeah. Because this time I have a lot of subscribers. I have over 1 million subscribers. So I try to use that traffic to point to the new channel. And it is helping. In 1 week, I already have 200 subscribers. So that's a good sign. So in 1 month, maybe I can get up to close to 1,000 subscribers in 1 month instead of 1 year, right? So, plus I've learned so much. I've learned so much over the years. I just got some email from YouTube. Says, oh, this is your 5th year. Yes, 5 years on YouTube. But I've had a channel before that, which I already deleted. It's gone. But I was on for a few years before that. And plus before that, I had some business a long time ago in the early 2000s. So I've been online for freaking 20 plus years, but Christos Avatar is only the past few years, so 5 years. Machiwa Holy Ones. Now let me double check for questions. No questions because Giannis isn't here. She's probably sleeping. She's got a job where she wakes up really early in the morning, so she's probably taking a nap right now. Kristen, what's up, Kristen? Woohoo! You said it, Kristen. That's true. God's the weed and the smoke of the weed. Smoker of the weed. Though I have to stop smoking as much because it gives me this inflammation, and that's probably because I have something else in my body. Who knows? Like people recommend a detox, right? So I recommend that to everybody in the audience. You know, you always want to be doing that, especially if you have health issues creep in. Like me, the only issue that I have is this freaking lymphatic inflammation issue. So I gotta jump on a trampoline sometimes. I gotta take certain drink herbal teas, and I take ginger and turmeric, which are anti-inflammatory. Those help as well. So, anyways, you guys, you have incentive to connect with your higher self. Okay. So you are this right here. Oh. Between your groin, or no, your butt chakra, that's way down here, right? And then your groin, and then your solar plexus. This is the human being in Earth. Butt consciousness, which is the root chakra, it's about survival. This is why it has the red light spectra. Whoever's sending those hearts, thank you very much. Bless you, Holy One. So, and then the groin chakra is the they don't call it the groin chakra. I just say it because, you know, 3D consciousness on Earth right now is very, very low vibe. And it really is about survival. And the second chakra is really focused on sex. So, and then the ego is the third one. So most people are stuck in survival or sex or the ego. Or they have conversations that of the 3D conscious energy frequency, right? Or relationships based on that. Or values based on that crap. Sex, survival, or the ego. There's no spiritual lessons there, homie. The spiritual lessons are in the heart, in the throat, and the third eye. Okay? That's up here while we're down here. You're a starseed from the 4th dimension, or the 5D, or the 6D. You have the heart, the throat, and the third eye. You're taking and bringing your heart and your throat and your third eye down to the earth drama in the 3D. You don't need the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, because you're coming from those dimensions. You could not come from the sixth dimension if you didn't have your third eye on. Earth seeds are not from the fourth, the fifth, or the sixth dimension. They're from the first and the second and the third dimension. Earth seeds, star seeds, are the higher consciousness, the higher selves coming to Earth. They're time travelers, man. Let me show you the 15-dimensional time matrix and show you what I mean by that. Your higher self is in 25,000 AD. We're in 2026. They're in 25,000 AD. You have higher selves that are 100,000 AD. You have a higher self that is 300,000 AD. Are you understanding it yet? It's in the future, coming to the past. In dreams, in your medicine, in your meditation, in your altered state, your higher self will communicate to you. Let me open that. Wait. Okay. Open recent files. Show all recent files. And where's the time matrix? Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess I gotta open up from a file. So, Wuchkas Masua. Time matrix diagram. Time matrix right here. As wipe. Okay. You're on Earth. I just got through showing you. You have only the ass chakra, the groin chakra, and the ego. That's that's most people's consciousness. That's 8 billion plus humans. They're dealing with that. And we're in 2026. Around here. We're right about here. Notice the end of this universal cycle is 4230 AD. That's the end of our current Earth cycle, called an Owego cycle. Okay? So, you're talking about a higher self in the fifth dimension is in 39,000 AD, man. Your higher self is super advanced, super evolved, super psychic. It actually has a race mind consciousness. It has the first level of a collective consciousness, what we call the superconscious mind. You see what I'm saying? You're not just yourself. You are plural selves. Your higher selves are literally way far in the future. And I didn't show you the higher selves, the really far higher selves. Let me go back real quick to that. $39,000 AD, 95,000 AD at your archangel level self, also called the oversoul. Okay, 230,000 plus AD as in your avatar level. Okay, and then you go way far into some extraordinary levels like 500,000, 600,000, 800,000. And so all your higher selves are super, super godlike compared to your little 3D ass groin ego experience. You have incentive to connect to those super evolved, super advanced, higher versions of yourself, brothers and sisters. You have incentive. It knows more than you, than your embodied 3D self. It has more knowledge, more skills, more abilities. And it's actually very hard to explain collective consciousness, plural consciousness, unless you start perceiving it yourself. It's kind of like you would suddenly have the mind of 100 people, the consciousness or the brain of 1,000 people. Can you imagine what type of being you are at those higher levels? That is your potential. That's all our potential, no matter how dumb or stupid you think you are. You're not. You're part of a huge, huge collective. And this is why I call you holy ones. Because you're not just this lowly human. You are an angel. 3 levels of angel. You are, brothers and sisters, all of us are. 3 levels of archangels. You, brothers and sisters, are 3 levels of avatars. You're 3 levels of solar rishi, which is the ki rishi. Ki ra she. Kunda re. You are this Yanis, 3 levels of ascended master level, Yanis level. The Kunda re. And of course, beyond that, you are source. You are God force. You are the unicide. The more and more you break yourself down, because your avatar is the accumulation of 1,728 selves. But the smaller pieces don't see the entire picture. You only see through your pinhole, keyhole. What can you see? I can't see much. I can't see much of creation. You can't see much of knowledge or identities until you grow and grow and grow. You're going to see more. You're going to remember more. You're going to be more. You're just one fragment, one fractal, one piece, one part of the whole. So if you took all of my knowledge and I took all of my higher self's knowledge in the 4th dimension, all my higher selves in the 5th dimension, all my higher selves in the 6th dimension, all my higher selves in the 7th dimension, OMG, it's all freaking connected. It's all this knowledge. And, when you go out beyond the 2nd universe, that's the planetary. No, that's the race knowledge. Then you go, all of the entire humans, you will have that accessible to you. It's the super consciousness. It's the race mind. And then you have everything in existence on planet Earth. That includes all the humans, but all the other beings who live on Earth. Microscopic life, atomic life, insect kingdom, animal kingdom. You will have all of that consciousness of the Earth system at your oversoul level. And then you go into the galactic consciousness. Everything in the entire Milky Way galaxy, everything that exists in the Milky Way galaxy, you have a connection to. You have a memory to. And you go on into the universal level. That's the time matrix, the universal levels. Of course, you go into the Kundalini, that's the cosmic levels. So consciousness started out here. This is God. God includes all selves, all thoughts, All beings, small, big, microscopic, colossal, everything is within what is God. So you downstep, you downstep, you downstep. You're fragmenting into less and less and less. Not value. You're fragmenting in your ability to hold more consciousness. A being at the planetary level, holy cow, look how much energy and knowledge it can hold inside its body, its self, compared to a little old human who has trouble remembering what they ate this morning. Or, what's your name? I know you, but what's your name? You know, we have some sorry ass memories down here. We're very disempowered. We're very, like a little fragment. Part of the problem is all the things that the Luciferian covenant, the Nibirians, Inki Anunnaki, Enlil Anunnaki, Marduk Anunnaki, Samyasi Anunnaki, all those punk asses are the ones who put all that alien technology in Earth's grid, called the APIN systems, the Nibirian Dyadic crystal grid system. They do impulses. They use holographic inserts. They have all kinds of weaponized alien tech against us. It's all about distorting and manipulating for them. Vampiring. Devouring other life forms. Controlling, manipulating, dominating other life forms. Conquering life. Using life. I choose God. I don't know about you guys. I choose light. I choose life. The 3 L's for me: love, light, and life. The other beings are anti-life. They sacrifice life. They suck life. They kill life. They control, manipulate, devalue, use up life. This is anti-God. This is anti-life beings. This is phantom consciousness, phantom agendas. And the problem, and the thing about those beings is they're not connecting to their higher selves. Usually it's their higher selves are abusing their own selves, kind of like a father or mother would abuse their own kids, because that's what it is. They created these lower dimensional lives, and then they're controlling and manipulating them. Some of these beings want out. They want a host matrix with the guardian race, because they're tired of the dark avatars manipulating and controlling them, where they don't have the divine gift of free will. It's being taken away from them. They're being in a life of suffering. Some of these beings get tired of it. So they switch sides and go back to the light. They'll do a host matrix with the guardian race, or they'll, and this opportunity has been offered to many races. There's many host matrices. The Ruby Sun, the Ruby Order, is an entire healing host matrix. And some of it went bad anyways. That was the whole Violet Flame, Saint Germain, Great White Brotherhood. Those are all liars, scammers, and fallen angelics. Just like Lord Maitreya, Lord Jesus, Lord Yahweh, Father God. It's all BS. It's all fallen angelics. It's all false creeds. It's all inverted, false light teachings. And 8 billion plus humans have no idea, because this has been happening. They've been stuck in this reincarnation since ancient days. They haven't gone anywhere. They're stuck in the same place. They're reincarnating. They didn't grow. They didn't bioregenerate their DNA. So they stuck in either falling or repeating. I mean, if you think it's bad now and you fall, when you fall, it's going to be worse. You'll be more helpless, more, or I should say, less and less likely to awaken and ascend. It's much, much more difficult the farther you fall down. Now it's kind of like, now you're just going to be in this fallen, distorted consciousness. That's the majority of your energy now. Now you're into hate. Now you're into judging people. Now you're into taking from people, taking energy from others, feeding off of their energy. Like a narcissist is pretending to be good to you one moment, and another moment it's feeding off of you. You have to put boundaries on all the things that are keeping you from connecting to your higher self. You can't have no one siphoning your energy in some relationship and some romantic love. You have to let go of anything and put boundaries on anything. Family, lovers, friends, whatever, strangers, you have to put boundaries in your life. Don't allow it. When you keep on allowing it, you're giving free will to be in suffering. Yeah, oh, okay, all right, that's all I know, so I rely on you, so, feed off of me. No, you have to come to that stance. You have to come to that choice. And it might not be comfortable to switch over, but there's part of you that knows you got to stop doing what you're doing because it's not in your best interest, and probably not, if there's children involved, it's probably not in their best interest if you keep on staying with the same narcissism, the same psychopathy, the same distorted conversations and relationships that have gotten you nowhere except suffering. Are you tired of suffering yet? Do you want to empower yourself again? Do you want to connect to your higher consciousness? If you can't connect to your own astral, that's your 4D self. If you can't connect to your 5D self or your 6D self, that's your soul level. 4D astral, 5D archetype, 6D celestial. If you cannot connect to that, how do you expect to ascend? How do you expect to connect to guardian races when your shit is way down here? Your frequency, your agendas and intentions, it's just this low vibration. How do you expect to go anywhere except down? How can you have the frequency to connect to your higher self when you're just constantly in low frequencies and low vibrations and low conversations? Part of a spiritual journey is awakening that potential within you. We all have it. No matter how horrible you think about yourself, you still have divinity inside your DNA. But all of the choices that you've made in your life have brought you into the lowest negative frequencies of your potential. Now you're not seeing your potential. Now you're just living in this rut, living in these low vibrations, low conversations, low aspirations. Now you just got the wrong type of friends and lovers. You guys, a spiritual journey, it's about change. A spiritual journey is about healing. You want to change and you want to heal. And then you'll start to feel better, understand more, remember more. I mean, how many of you in the audience have made changes in your life? Are you eating differently? Are you dating differently? Are you converting, conversationing, differently? Are you still the same as you were in high school? Are you just hanging out with your high school buddies still? There's nothing wrong with that if they're cool, Christic people, but I'm pretty sure they're not. Most likely, there wasn't even Christic teachings when I was in high school. There's a couple of guys that I consider friends from high school, but I'm not like talking deep with them and stuff. I'm not hanging out with them anymore. I'm not even in those. I'm not even in those situations. But some people are just with the same people, the same crowd, the same influences, and haven't made a spiritual journey, haven't made changes or transformations. So if you came to this video hoping some way to connect to your higher self, it starts with change. Your higher self is a higher frequency, more light, more positive. You have to align with it. You have to be more positive, more Christic, more in unity, more in Christ consciousness, more in love. Stick to the attitudes of mastery. There's 12 of them. There's also 12 responsibilities of mastery. There's the whole concept of the inner Christos. No matter how bad you think you are, you still have an inner Christos. You still, right now, this moment, have the divine gift of free will to make a change. If I was at that state, I would change. I would start, first of all, I would go into deeper meditation. I would make sure I'm meditating every day. Are you meditating every day? You're mindful of your posture. You're mindful of your breathing. You close your eyes to focus on this eye. Not what you see on the outside, but what you see on the inside. This is called a mudra. There's different mudras. Here's a basic, simple mudra. See? This is a micro chakra in each of your fingertips. There's a minor chakra in your palms. Mudras mean something. Do something. Posture. Keep your back up straight. Slow down your breathing by 3 times. Like if you breathe like this, naturally, triple that, quadruple that, quintuple that. Then you can start to hold your breath for 5 times, 6 times you normally would. So inhale, hold breath. Exhale, with all the breath out, you hold your breath again. Inhale, hold breath. This is the most simple breathing technique. There's many complicated, advanced breathing techniques. I'm just sharing one. Quadruple, quintuple your inhales, exhales, and hold the breath after you inhale, and hold the breath after you get to the end. Exhale. So you do that for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Oh, it's actually exhilarating just for a few seconds. You become a master of energy, a master of consciousness, and all this 3D shit, garbage, low frequency. You will transmute it, you guys. just by making a shift in your daily routine. You know, people are nut and crazy about the gym. How about being crazy about your consciousness and your Kundalini energy and your what you're seeing and experiencing? How about being crazy about that? Being serious and putting that in your lifestyle. Have you made any changes lately? How about your diet? Are you still eating shit? Are you still eating meat? Are you still eating junk food? Are you still drinking energy drinks? What the F are you doing? Have you made any changes recently in your conversations? Are you still talking about the same stuff? Are you still talking to the same people? Have you made any changes in any type of thing in your life? It's about change, you guys, and it's good to have some type of, you know, part of mindfulness is to have a journal, and then with a journal, you're keeping track of your goals, what you expect to accomplish, and things that you're currently doing. You get this gestalt of your life and where you're going. You're one of those people who know where you're going. You become someone who knows how to manifest whatever you need in your life. Love, a job, money, anything like that. Information, knowledge, success. People who are intentionally, consciously manifesting. Maybe you want to manifest, you know, or make a goal. I'm going to connect to my higher self. I'm going to perceive my higher self, or one of my higher selves. Remember, it's plural. And also, like in the Kathara Biospiritual Healing, which we give you the PDF, there's also a workshop. Find it on the internet. Kathara Ashiana Dean workshop. Wow, is that hard to think about? Why does someone have to teach you how to search for something? You can search in Google. Do you know how to search in Google? I'm not trying to be a smartass, but some people are asking me, where's the video? Where's the workshop or the PDF? Did you even search? Search, you guys. If you don't want to search, I have it in the members area. It's a 20-hour workshop in the members area called Kathara Advanced Biospiritual Healing by Ashiana Dean and Michael Dean and Marianne Calloway. So this is something that we want to be mindful in practicing and doing in our life. Are you active in your spirituality? Are you serious about being Christic and awakening your higher self and knowing your knowledge? I mean, your mission, knowing what you're supposed to do. Or are you spending all your time asking other people, what am I? Tell me who I am. Oh, can you do a reading for me? You're spending all your time looking for someone else's advice or someone else's, you know, perceptions, when you could be using that same amount of time and getting results by going within. And let me tell you something, guys, from my own personal experience. I used to not believe this stuff. I didn't believe in psychic energies. I thought it was ridiculous. I used to mock people who were into that. I didn't believe in spirits. I mean, back then I didn't even believe in aliens. I was just too busy about my jewelry and my watch and my sexy hot girlfriends and my good paying job. Or no, I didn't work for people. I made my own business. I'm still doing it. I don't work for someone else. So I was too busy with that kind of 3D life. And I didn't know this was all real or true. So maybe you're there and having a difficulty believing there's a higher self. Come on, are you joking? I'm not joking. The teachings aren't joking. The teachings are reminding you of your personal Christos, which is 1,728 incarnations. Can you imagine? You are here, and it takes so much just to operate this life, but you have all these lives, and they're all doing their own thinking and decision making. They have their own skill set, their own experiences. And maybe some of these selves, some of these other selves, are communicating to you, saying hello to you, sending you a dream message. And maybe some of your brilliant ideas, you're just kind of like in this daydream state. You have alpha, beta, gamma, delta waves, right? Your mind can be at different frequencies. And you could be at the frequency of between beta and alpha, which is kind of like a daydream twilight state. That's where you can have these higher conscious thoughts. It's not happening in their brain, but it is. And it's also happening in your mind, in your brain. Other thoughts. What I'm saying to you is that some of your thoughts are your higher selves or other selves, maybe parallel selves. But they're mixed into your thoughts because you're here thinking. You sit and you're thinking. Well, some of those thoughts are multidimensional thoughts from your higher selves, other selves, parallel, adjacent selves. There is a parallel system. There is a phantom system. There is we have the parallel Earth, but there's adjacent Earths. You have all these timelines that you have these other selves, which is extensions of you. You're all your selves are you. But from your level, you have to understand that you're embodied in 3D, and this is your main station. This is your main thinking perspective. But you can start to perceive other perspectives of your other selves, and that becomes a great. You are literally bringing in your higher consciousness into this life. And remember, I just told you I didn't believe in any of this stuff. I didn't see no higher selves. I didn't see UFOs. I didn't see aliens. Angelic beings, archangelic beings, other dimensional worlds. I didn't see none of that. I was too busy I was in Vegas. I'd be on the Strip, or I'd go to I was traveling. I had a passport. I was traveling around different countries, mostly Ukraine and Russia. I was totally 3D. I wasn't even believing in this stuff until I started experiencing the paranormal, the supernatural. You know, you can either keep on denying what you just experienced and say, "Oh, I was drinking alcohol, or I was high, or that wasn't real." You don't take it seriously. Some people will just bypass some supernatural event, like justify it somehow. Don't believe that it was real. I remember my mind thinking that stuff, like, okay, this person says they have all these experiences and they can see things and feel things, and I can't. But what is this? So it wasn't until I literally experienced paranormal stuff, man, where I could not, unless I was a freaking somebody who just denied it, just. But I had to be honest with myself and realize this was real. It took me a while to figure out I was seeing my aura. It took me a while to figure out what the hell this tingling was really Kundalini energies I feel in my hand. And then when I was learning about chakras, do you know what chakras are? When I was learning about these different spiritual components of who I am, then I started experiencing more. Now that I knew I had an aura, then I was learning all about the different auras. I was learning about, what is Kundalini energy. And, I had to learn all this stuff, man. It's like starting all over in life and learning stuff that was always there, but I never got into it because I thought it was crazy. And I didn't think about it, and I would have never thought about it again unless I started experiencing stuff too. And then I had to like realize, man, you know, this isn't me. Even if I thought other people were crazy, I'm not crazy, but I'm literally experiencing this stuff. You see what I'm saying? That which I did not believe, now I'm teaching with 100% conviction. Because it's so real, you guys. You'll get to a point where these paranormal, supernatural things are so freaking real, and there's no difference in this reality and that reality. Those beings do exist. I've seen them. I have felt them. I was them. I experienced it 360 degrees all around me. This is real. I feel it. I see it. And you have a cognizance. Cognizance is a knowing. Then you start seeing more and believing more. You have testimony. You have witness. Only a fool is going to keep on denying it. You'll keep on denying it if you're a believer in Jesus. Believer in, well, that wasn't the right way to say it. A believer in religion. There was a real Jesus. We talk about Jesus, we talk about God, but not the one from religion. So it all comes down to your own discernment and what you're prepared and willing to do to change yourself. You want to change yourself. That's, there is a reason why we have the 12 attitudes of mastery. Look at them. Look at the 12 attitudes of mastery. It's based on love, grace, mindfulness, responsibility, accountability, reverent respect, impeccability, fearlessness. Do you have these things in your life? Are these your qualities? No, not yet. That's your work. And to see not people as separate. There's all those people who are racist, they see everybody as separate. They don't see us as one. They have these horrible, disgusting thoughts, and so they're not going to approach unity. They have no idea what is unity. They're not interested in unity. They want superiority. They like being racist. They like being better. They think they're better than other people. You're not going to experience higher self, higher consciousness. Sorry. You're stuck in religion. You're not going to connect to your higher self. Some serious, hardcore Christian is going to say, "Oh, that's the Holy Spirit." That wasn't me. You're trained out of that. That's pulled out of you. They don't want you connecting to your higher consciousness. No, it's not that. That's the Lord. That's not you. That's the Holy Spirit. That's not you. Get off your ego. So, what's up, Holy Ones? How you doing? How is your spiritual journey going? Write it in the comments. Inquiring minds want to know. Machiwa. Yeah, baby. What's up? Charlene. Woohoo, Charlene. Thank you, so Holy One. Everything counts. You count. Thank you so much for standing with us in chat tonight. Bless you, Holy One. Tonya! Woohoo! Tonya! Yes! Machiwa to you, sister. Thank you for sharing Ashiana Dean's work with us. Machiwa. Thank you, Tonya. In Oklahoma. Yes! And I can't replace Ashiana, but I am going to be teaching what she used to teach, which she doesn't teach anymore. Iyasha teaches something totally different. We're not there. This is the original teaching that we're covering. Travis Woods, woohoo! Thank you, Holy One. Those are awesome numbers. Frequency. Much love and respect, Star Brother Mahalo. Oh, is that? Are you in Hawaii? Polynesian. Thank you very much for all the energy you have put into sharing the freedom teachings with us. Machiwa! Thank you, Travis. And you guys, I really appreciate that positive feedback. Because, you know, when you have over 1 million subscribers and you're pumping out all this content, you're going to get haters. I get haters. I get people making rude comments. I don't know about you guys. How big is your block list? Because over the years, over 5 years of doing this, you're going to get a lot of disgusting, low vibe comments. So all of your guys' blessed comments mean a lot. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, Travis. Brothers and sisters, Christic brothers and sisters. Magrez! Yes, Magrez! Thank you so much, Holy One. Thanks for breathing techniques. Yeah. Let me show you something, because it'll hit hard. It'll hit hard. So give me a couple seconds, guys. Sorry, guys. I forgot that I was packing a lot of my books away, so I was trying to show you these books that I have a big ass book like this that's all about breathing techniques. Okay, and I practiced a lot of them. It was pretty profound stuff that you can do just with breathing. I mean, that's a way of pulling in Kundalini, you know. And the Hindus call it pranayama. Pranayama. Prana is just another word for life force energy, like Kundalini. But the Guardians call it Kundalini. We don't call it prana. That's a Hindu thing. But I was going to show you pranayama is the art or the science of breathing. There's a whole ton of exercises, and there's also one nostril, altering nostrils, and different locks, bandy locks. They have different locks with the neck and the stomach. Advanced stuff that you can find more advanced stuff in other teachings than they do. Like, you don't see a hardcore breathing lessons in these teachings, but they do show you how to do these really deep diaphragmatic breaths and stuff. But if you want to go really into it, I would get a book on pranayama. Prana, prana, yama, yama, pranayama. And just look for a book on Amazon or look on videos for pranayama, breathing techniques. And you guys, it's literally can heal diseases. Because it's life force. It's Kundalini. No wonder why something like oxygen, people are doing something with oxygen, right? Oxygen bars, oxygen therapy, because that has something to do with Kundalini. And if you are someone who can breathe, who can do a lot of breath work, you can start to gravitate towards being a breatharian. Just saying, you can live longer if you're disciplined enough to practice pranayama regularly, breath techniques every day. There's a lot of research behind it. So, to each their own. Thank you, Migres. Woohoo! Thank you guys. It means so much, you guys, that I could actually now support myself with this channel. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, there's been lots of times along this journey of 5 years that I could have walked away. I even became homeless during these 5 years, and I still didn't walk away. I'm still teaching these teachings, and it's only getting better. It's only getting better. I learned a lot of lessons. So I appreciate those of you who did not give up on me. I appreciate and am grateful to all of you who stayed all this time. And maybe you can't make it every week, that's fine. But you're still here year after year, and you guys know, maybe the official Ashiana and team Azurite Press, they used to call themselves, maybe the shield split. However, you can still ascend and spiritually awaken yourself without speaker 1, without speaker 2 or speaker 3, without these books. Okay? It's all, you don't need a mentor. Okay? It's not required to have a speaker for you to be successful. This is the shield, still. We are the shield, brothers and sisters. We're the Christic people, more than likely Guardian Alliance people, Indigo homies, Starseeds. It's a group incarnation. We incarnating as a group. Unfortunately, Ashana got targeted. So, I'm not perfect, but I know that year by year, I'm only getting better and better and more accurate. I say more accurate, I just mean more into the deeper teachings. Most of my teachings have been towards the Voyagers type of information because no one really is covering it, so I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to illustrate it so you can understand it. I started this new channel, and I'm going way to the beginning, to the introductory stuff, like the teachings themselves. Like who else is talking about the CDT plates? Who else is making pictures for you and videos for you so you can understand exactly what is the CDT plates? What was the Maharata text that these teachings are based on? Which is an Anahazi language that means inner Christos. Okay? So then I'm gonna get into Voyager's books, which starts you from the beginning and takes you into the Guardians, takes you into the fallen angelics, and all about the Earth seeds, the star seeds, the inner Earth. That's where my new channel is taking us. Unfortunately, the censorship has shut Christos Avatar from being successful, from thriving. I cannot thrive here with this channel anymore. It is stuck in this censorship. It's stuck. But as you see, I'm still here, and I'm still doing lives. I'm still, I just can't, I'm just not going to be putting all the big content videos anymore on YouTube. There's no way I can put all my, you guys don't understand, it takes all my time, all my emotion, all my passion to create this content. I'm not going to put that on this freaking channel anymore when the damn freaking system has stopped it. I cannot thrive. I cannot get anything done on some censored channel like this anymore. So I'm taking the effort somewhere else. So if you're serious about reaching me, join my Patreon, my membership that's off of this YouTube platform. I'm not going to put all my eggs in this censored platforms that could just suddenly, and they did do that, suddenly with no warning, just block me from supporting myself. If you want the long form content, which I just started doing again, you're going to have to go to my other channel. You're going to have to subscribe. You're going to want to go to my Patreon membership, even for $5. But to each their own. You choose if you're going to just stay here in YouTube and just watch the alien life videos. I hope you strive for more, Holy Ones. Some of you strive for more. Some of you want more. You're going to get more. Some of you are finding the same roadblocks. You're going to run into the roadblocks. The real teaching, the real truth is going to be censored, is going to be blocked. This is why I had to take it off of the clutches of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. I have to be in control through a Patreon membership. I'm not going to lose everything because of some punk ass platform that wants to censor you. I will speak. I will have control, and I will thrive. Only if you guys join me on my Patreon, become a $5 member, or go find my other YouTube channel by going to Instagram. You'll see my links. On Instagram, I send you the links. On Facebook, I send you the links. On Twitter, I send you the links. I can't send no freaking stupid links on TikTok. TikTok sucks. You suck, TikTok. You censor TikTok. You suck. So you have to go to Instagram, that doesn't suck, or Facebook, sometimes sucks. I just went through a whole month shadow ban on Instagram. You guys, it is so freaking obvious. You see, the analytics don't lie, man. When Facebook was doing this, and then suddenly does this, what is that? What is that? That's a freaking shadow ban. You want to tell me shadow bans aren't real? As soon as the shadow ban on Facebook ended, oh wow! Oh wow! It's the same thing with YouTube. It's the same thing with TikTok. You know when there's a shadow ban. It's not my imagination. It's right there in the numbers. It doesn't, especially when you got 300,000 subscribers and it's doing this shit. Well, what is that? That is obvious censorship. Oh, what's that? Oh, the censorship, the shadow ban is over. Until they want to put another shadow ban on. You see what I'm saying? This is why part of my strategy is moving off onto Patreon, where I can have control of it, whatever the F these other platforms do. Sorry for that speech, you guys. It's just, you feel it. You feel it. The people who are speaking real truth are the ones that the censored platforms, which goes right back to the Illuminati, it goes right back to the secret space program, it goes into the freaking deep state and all this cabal. You understand? Or are you one of those people who don't understand? Are you one of those people who think conspiracy theories are all, what do you call it? Are people who are quacks, or people who are narcissists, or not narcissists, wrong word. What's that word people say? For a moment, I forgot the word, but it doesn't matter. Schizophrenic. And you guys don't even know all the things that have happened. You don't see everything that happens. All the censorship, all the BS, all the trolls, all the things you got to deal with when you have over 1 million subscribers. Just so you guys know, you will see, what is it? My YouTube channel is stuck. Let me see. At 128,000 subscribers, it will take years to get to 200K. It's going to take years now to get to 200K. But my Instagram does 1,000 new subscribers every single day. You see the freaking difference, man? Or not? Or you know, I don't need to convince anybody. Some of you maybe appreciate those details. I'm just letting you know what I'm up against. It's not easy. So I'm grateful to all of you. And that's another thing. You see, now I'm taking donations straight from you guys because YouTube is so freaking greedy, man. They take 30% of everything. They take 30 freaking percent of your donations, 30% of anything coming through my channel. Of course, now I'm not part of that because they've been taking that away. So now you are getting me, basically, I get now 99% of what you send to me now. Because PayPal only takes a tiny fraction, like 1%. So thank you guys for your PayPal donations, man. And by the way, I did lose my truck and I only had liability insurance. So I'm stuck in a small town. I can't even go and get groceries because that's like a few miles away. So I have to order groceries. And they charge you a delivery fee and then you have to pay a tip. So now it's expensive for me to get groceries from. Man, when you lose your vehicle and you can't afford a new one, OMG, talk about a challenge. That is really a challenge, especially when the supermarket is freaking 4 miles away. That's an 8-mile trip. And I already checked, man. I already checked freaking Ubers and what's the other one? Lyfts. They want to charge $30 one way. So it would cost me $60 up to $70 or more because they're fluctuating prices just to go grocery shopping. That's why I had to find out I could have it shipped to me, but I have to pay delivery fee and a tip fee. And also, I used to take my water jugs because I can't stand tap water. I used to have a truck, right? Now I don't. I used to fill up 8 of these. It would last me a whole month. Now I can't even do that. Now I'm being forced to drink of tap water. Of course, my house is on well water, so it's not as bad. But it still tastes like crap compared to that water. So, I don't know where this is coming from. Sorry, guys. Life is challenging. Life's not always easy. So, like, I literally have no idea how I'm getting to the conference in Las Vegas in October. I'll probably have to pay $150 to get to Vegas, $150 to get back. Actually, I haven't even checked what Uber will cost. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's $200. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something about the higher self. It has to do with your own frequency. It has to do with your own changes in your life before you start to perceive or be able to connect to your higher self. So your higher self is all about you aligning with the attitudes of mastery, aligning with omni love, aligning with unity consciousness, aligning with fearlessness and mindfulness and love and reverent respect. It's about you getting rid of all the narcissists in your life, all the psychopaths in your life, breaking, divorcing, moving if it requires it. You got to make changes. You got to be, you know what? If you don't make changes, your own soul is going to put you at, in a position of suffering. I had to lose everything in my life twice. One time when the house burned down, no insurance on the house. It wasn't my house, but I was living there with family. It wasn't insured, and we lost the entire house and everything. because everything burned. I lost everything I owned except for my truck because it was in the garage, but the garage caught on fire. So I couldn't find my keys in the moment of the house burning down. I didn't know where my keys were. So we had to push the truck out of the garage before it burned down. So I was lucky to have my truck. That was a huge blessing, right? But I lost everything else. All my daughter's little pictures when she was a little sweet little baby, toddler. All the things she made for daddy, all my videotapes I lost. Back in the days, you had VHS tapes when I was a teenager and stuff. I lost all those memories, all my artwork, all my merchandise that I had for my business at the time, all my electronics, a big screen TV, my furniture. It was all gone. That was in 2010. And 2010 is the same year I found out about Ashyanadin and the inner Christos teachings. You see, the soul did to move me in the right freaking direction. Now, the second time I lost everything was the same thing. My own soul had to take me from doing all that 3D crap and move and get into homelessness. And now I'm sitting here in a freaking desert in my car, which was a Camaro at the time. Oh, cool car, but not a cool car for living in. The Camaro is real low, right? And there's no space in the back seat, right? And I had to live in it. Can you imagine? So my own soul had to take everything away again. OMG, that was painful. I hope you guys will get it before that happens. Before your soul puts you into hell, so to speak. Hellish circumstances. Maybe you have to experience death before you to wake up. You're getting woken up. Somebody's trying to wake you up. Wake up! Here's a wake-up call for you. Still not waking up? Okay, we're going to hit you harder. Oh! Your own soul, which is your higher self, your own soul wants you to succeed, wants you to actually do what it wants you to do. You want yourself to do what you want yourself to do. Your own soul wants you to fulfill its soul mission, its soul purpose. You're not the soul. You're the incarnate. Your soul, which is 4D, you're in 3D. The incarnate, third-dimensional embodied being wants to do what your soul wants to do. You want to align with what your soul wants. Not be lost and confused in your 3D ego self. Don't let your ego rule your life, you guys. Find your higher self. Learn the 12 attitudes of mastery. Learn unity. Learn love. Develop your chakras, especially the heart, the throat, and the third eye. You already have this. You can make it better, but you need to work on your higher chakras, and then you'll start to connect to your higher self. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hanging with me tonight. What's up, Holy Ones? Yeah, baby. What's up? What's up? Give me 5 indigos. Yeah. Gangsters and Christos. Woohoo! Yeah. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm just looking at chat, seeing how someone's still sending me hearts. Wow, look at you. Can I join you? Let's make love together. Make hearts together, I mean. Oh, that's the wrong emojis. That's cool. I love that. Thank you, sweetheart, whoever's doing that. Thank you, guys. Bless you. I hope you guys have enjoyed the rest of your evening. I'm going to try to have an interview set up on Saturday I have a whole contact list to get a whole. There's somebody. I'm gonna get someone to be on an interview this Saturday. So I know there's a couple people who will do it right away. Like Brian Sang would probably do an interview with hardly any warning, you know. So I was thinking about doing that tonight, but Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Shaddai Ure Akuntan. Omni love to all of you. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Enjoy the rest of your evening, you guys. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Much blessings. Make sure you become a subscriber on my Patreon and my new channel. Much love, much respect. Machiwa. Gonna go eat my vegan chili, baby. No meat, just vegetables. Yeah, and it's freaking delicious. Ask my girlfriend, Giannis. Julia knows. Good night, you guys.